Hi guys, welcome to the week 9 video lesson for Group Piano 4. As usual, your full technique routine, which this week in the key of F sharp, is attached in a separate video. And then we'll jump into the unit for this week, which is unit 21. Now this is a little bit of a different unit. We're learning about the German and Italian augmented sixth chords. And basically you're gonna pick the exercises, the chord progression, reading, and harmonization with transposition that either goes with the German augmented sixth chord on page 268 to 269, or the Italian augmented sixth chord, which is on page 270 to 271. So we'll go ahead and start out at page 268 with the German sixth chord. So again, there's a lot of different ways to think about this and figure out what makes sense to you. I have found that it makes a lot of sense to me if I think about just building a dominant seventh chord on the flat 6 scale degree. So in the key of C, that would mean that I would be building a chord on A flat, an A flat dominant seventh chord. In the key of D, it'd be meaning I'd be building a B flat dominant seventh chord, going on from there. So that's what makes sense to me. That makes it a lot easier for me to think about building those chords. And I do think that it is a little bit easier. For example, if you look over on page 269 of the harmonization, they are just writing it out as, again, a B flat seventh chord. And then in parentheses it says German 6, so that does make that a little bit easier for me, I think so. So we'll go ahead and play through first the chord progression that uses the German 6th chord. So here we go, I'll call out the chord names. Ready, go. 1, 4, 1. German 6, which is also an A flat 7, 1, 6, 4, 5, 7, 1. And if you want to give a little bit of extra practice on those German augmented sixth chords, definitely go through and try that chord progression in the keys that are listed, the G major, F major, D major, B flat. That would get you really solid with those chords. But what you need to turn in is just that chord progression in C. That's it. Now here is the reading exercise, and they point out where the German sixth chord comes in here. Wonderful. Now we have the harmonization. And so what we'll do is go through and play this one in the original key first, and then I'll break it down step by step in the transposition. This one is pretty straightforward in the original key, so I'll just play it hands together first in the original key, and then I'll break it down and play hands separately while we practice the transposition. So here we go. B flat 7. Basically the same thing. I love how this one sounds. It really is great. And you could also, again, you should do the... be a good idea. I just didn't do that. So now we'll go ahead and try it in the transposition of C major, and we'll go through and just do the chords first. So I've got my C, then remember A7 over C sharp, that's just that chord progression going down to our 5, 6, 5. Pretty simple, okay. Now I'm going to jump down to my A flat 7, and then to my G7. So we can see that that's just a nice little half step down there. Then back to my C, 5, 6, 5, 1, 6. And then really stepping down here. You notice this is all just half steps down. We've got an A minor, A flat 7, G7, then we go through and we'll play the right hand. Notice that F natural is going to become an E flat. Okay, so where we have that F natural, that will become an E flat. And now here we go from the beginning with both hands. Nope, I missed chord change. Hang on. Perfect. So there's also the improvisation from chord symbols. This would be, again, just another way to practice finding those German augmented sixth chords here. That would be a great idea to just go ahead and play that through. Practice figuring out which melody notes and how to write a melody that includes the augmented sixth chord would be a great idea. Now the next option that you could do would be to do the Italian sixth chord. So in this case, that would include, it's the same thing as the German augmented sixth chord, you just leave out the fifth. So you're just thinking about a dominant seventh chord built on the lowered sixth with the fifth omitted. So in the key of C, it would be just A flat, C, G flat, leaving out the E flat. That's the easiest way for me to think of it, but you again can do whatever you think works best for you. So here we go with the chord progression that uses the Italian sixth chord. There's a lot of keys that you can play this in, but the one that you have to do for your assignment is to just play it in C. So here we go. 1, 4, 1, Italian sixth, 1, 6, 4, 5, 7, 1. How similarly it functions. Again, just leaving out one note so it sounds pretty similar. Here is the reading exercise that you would play, and again, they mark where the Italian sixth comes in. Again, I love that too. I think that when we get into these chords, it just starts making everything sound a little bit more interesting and exciting, a little bit more harmonic language to work from here. So now we're going to take a look at the sonatina in C minor. So one weird thing about this one is it does not start on the tonic chord. We start on that B flat 7, which is the 5, because we're in the key of E flat. So that goes to E, then we have A flat over C, then we have the Italian sixth chord. So here's how I think of it. You're just going to think A flat, or so we're in E flat. What's my sixth scale degree? And let me just go down a half step so that's lowered. I know that it's technically C flat. However, if you are anything like me, when I look at that Italian sixth, it is way easier for me to think of a B7 with the fifth omitted, and then going down a half step to that B flat, than to think of that being a C flat 7. Again, whatever works best for you. To me, I think B7 instead of C flat 7, even though technically it is a C flat 7, to B flat. And then we have our B flat 7 over D, then our E flat 7, then our A flat over E flat, B flat 7 over D, E flat. So here we go in the original key, adding the melody to this, which is blocked chords in the accompaniment. A flat. Remember, it's just a B7 with no fifth. Sorry, my allergies are so bad right now. So we'll go ahead and look at this one in the transposed key of F major. So let's take a look at the chords first. So our B flat 7 is going to become a C7 to F to a B flat over D, and then our Italian 6th chord here is going to be a D flat 7 chord with the 5th omitted. And then back to a C. And then our C7 over E. And then an F7. And then a B flat over D. And then C7 over E. And then F. All right, so let's go ahead and give this one a try from the beginning here. So starting on that C7 chord. Oh, let's try the melody. Sorry. Here we go. There we go. So practice each of those parts as many times as you need to, and then we'll try it all together.